in business news.
AstroBank is currently undergoing a phase of leadership transformation as the CEO Konstantinos Loizidis resigned. Did his resignation take you by surprise?
Well, it did to a certain extent. But you know, when you run an institution, you should always be prepared for any eventuality. And no one should ever become indispensable.
What were the criteria of choosing Mr. Vourakis, Aristidis Vourakis, as the new CEO? What are your expectations from him?
Well, you know, Aristidis Vourakis is a very prominent banker and an all-rounded professional. He's experienced in many facets of banking, some of which are very important to AstroBank because they fit in our strategy. He has a very successful record in investment banking, and he has brought to fruition a series of very large and complex transactions, including some high-profile sovereign deals. He has also successfully managed very difficult restructuring plans in large banking institutions in several countries. And he has very aptly managed large banking groups. He also comes to us with knowledge and an impressive network of contacts in three of the markets that matter most to us, to AstroBank, namely Cyprus, Greece, and Lebanon. What we expect from him is to boost the bank in the way our strategy has defined the track on which we would like to move in all the business ventures that we are decided to follow.
So after this question, I have to ask you, what are the priorities of AstroBank for the coming period?
Well, you know, AstroBank has a clear strategy and it is efficiently implementing it. We aim at increasing our market share and expand our operations in all business avenues, commercial banking, private banking, and retail banking. We also are working very hard from the beginning to develop rapidly our digitalization process with a strong artificial intelligence core and a solid remote banking reach. And we are there already because we have devoted from the onset ample resources to innovation, which is our central belief. Innovation is our core philosophy. This will allow us a fast response time with clients and a much greater competitive position. We also pride ourselves in having a remarkable private banking platform because of our partnership with Crescendo, which is a very successful asset manager based in Geneva, London, Miami, and Luxembourg. We have quickly developed, together with Crescendo, a number of products and services that allow our clients access to a much larger variety of financial products than you can find even in significantly bigger international banks. And the cherry on the cake is the cross-fertilization between the commercial and the private banking services, all to the benefit of the client.
I wanted to ask if the Beirut explosion affected AstroBank and its plans or operations in any way.
Well, the explosion in the Beirut harbor has sadly further exacerbated a rapid slide to the abyss triggered by decades of bad public management, corruption, irresponsible political bickering, and a foreseeable implosion in the banking sector. Sadly, if anything, what is happening in Lebanon is reinforcing our Lebanese client base. People who are looking for an alternative platform to conduct their banking business from. We are perceived as the focal bank for the Lebanese, probably because some of our shareholders are Lebanese. We have, however, been extremely prudent in the selection of clients. And we also have decided from the day we started back in March 2017 not to take any exposure whatsoever to Lebanese risk. With your permission, I would like here to seize the opportunity to thank the Republic and the people of Cyprus for the remarkable generosity and solidarity that they expressed through donations and support. I was particularly moved by a donation from the inmates in Cypriot jails to the victims of the 4th of August blast. You know, in times of crisis, Cyprus and the Cypriot people, as they have done before, have always been present to assist Lebanon and the Lebanese.
When do you expect the acquisition process of National Bank of Greece and Cyprus by AstroBank to be completed? How will this acquisition affect AstroBank in general?
Okay, on the timing, the acquisition process was delayed by all what is happening in the world between COVID-19 and the complications it has generated. There is also a set of regulatory requirements that need to be satisfied by both institutions in order to clear the transaction and to get the go-ahead from the authorities. All this takes time normally. Now, with the general situation, it is taking a little more time. Acquiring the assets and liabilities of NBG will boost AstroBank's balance sheet. It will also reinforce its operations, and it will create significant synergies, which in turn will enhance our profitability. In addition, this will expand our market share and allow us to make a larger number of clients benefit from the innovative, advanced banking products and services that AstroBank continuously develops and offers. And as I said, in this process of continual innovation. Now, finally, this acquisition, which is the third acquisition as a group in a little over 3 years, contributes to the consolidation of the banking sector in Cyprus, which is an objective of the Central Bank of Cyprus, and which is a positive step in the reinforcement of the sector as a whole. It is also a step in the direction of bolstering the sector on the European and on the global scene.
I don't know if you have any plans for any new acquisition in the future. Or
yes, we do.
You do?
We have a big appetite.
And
we have the means to do it because our shareholders and the new investors we are continually attracting because of the performance of the bank and its success allow us to have this kind of appetite.
Do you have any specific company in mind?
We do.
Can you please tell me something more? Or it's
Not
difficult?
Yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So we'll find it out soon, I guess.
I hope so.
Okay. Cyprus found itself in the spotlight because of Al Jazeera's publication regarding to the Cyprus investment program. What is your stance regarding the Cyprus investment program?
Well, you know, experience has taught me that negative comments that you see or read in the media always have a background. They always have a background. They also have motives and often nefarious intentions, unfortunately. And what is also unfortunate is that listeners and readers do not always exercise caution and judgment when they are exposed to such reporting. They don't go beyond the story they hear. They don't try to research and understand. The investment program is a remarkable tool. It's a remarkable tool to enhance counter-cyclical growth, because in times of difficulties and slow growth, injecting investment always jumpstarts the economy. So it is a remarkable tool in difficult times, but also in good times. It is a funnel. It is a funnel for solid, durable, job-creating foreign direct investment poured into the market. The selection of the candidates now is based on a watertight process, which is managed by reputable international forensic analysis firms assisting the local authorities. And it contains many cross-referencing security checks. So it's a solid screen. When you compare the investment program and the consequence of giving citizenships,
is Cyprus an attractive destination for foreign investors, in your opinion, and why?
Well, when you invest or when you decide to invest, your selection of an investment destination and or of a given sector is based on two main pillars. First, the business environment. Political stability, fiscal predictability, very important, because you want to know that the authorities are not going to hike taxes in 2 months or 3 months unpredictably. Fiscal predictability is an essential criteria. Sustainable growth, competent government, availability of a qualified working force. The second pillar that I would like to mention is comparability. You have to look at where do you find the most favorable business environment, as we talked about it earlier, and where do you find the most promising returns. So you identify several destinations and you compare those variables for each market. In the region, Middle East, North Africa, Europe, and even beyond, I have to say that Cyprus scores very, very highly and comes ahead on all of these counts.
Thank you very much.